What's up, guys? So, bit of a delay on the video. Sorry about that. Long story short, got COVID, and thankfully wasn't that bad. I'm fortunate enough to say that, but I do have 3 boosters in my system, so maybe those helped. That's part of the main reason why this got delayed so bad. I literally was going to start editing this the week when I got sick, and I didn't even realize I was sick with COVID. I thought I had a sinus infection, but had to call off work, go to the doc, get fixed up, so that kind of put a bit of a delay on the whole review of the FUJICA. But I'm here now, and I'm here to finally talk about the camera. Actually, this is like the 5th or 6th fucking reattempt of trying to record this. I don't know. I don't want to put something up out there if I don't like the way it looks, and I like the way this looks. I'm literally sitting on my bed next to my window so I can get the best lighting, but it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do in the situations where you don't have, lights and all that crap. But let's finally talk about the camera. FUJICA GS645 Pro. Had this camera for over a year and a half now, and I gotta say that I do not regret buying this camera at all. Not a regret. This camera has been a great little workhorse. I bought it a year and a half ago, roughly. Yeah, roughly. Before I took Brie out to Arizona for a concert. I wanted to take a camera other than my XE4 because I wanted to shoot film, but I don't have 35mm film cameras, and I just wanted to be able to take something and get the medium format quality, but I wanted it to be portable and not have to worry about making it fit in a bag. I had my 645 Super, which is a small camera, and the 645 box cameras are really small and portable, but they're just hard to fit in bags if you don't have a dedicated camera bag, And so I did very little research, and I kind of just bought this thing on the fly. I just saw that it was not as expensive as like a Mamiya 6 or 7. I saw that it shot the 645 format, which is what I wanted, and I just pulled the trigger and said, fuck it. And honestly, the best trigger I've ever pulled. That shot landed really well. And I would say that this camera is for people that were in the same situation as I am, or I was. They don't have the money for a Mamiya 6 or 7, and they want a camera rangefinder. They want a rangefinder style camera that shoots medium format. And that's where I'd recommend this. I know there's a Bronica one too, I just don't remember the name of it, and I don't remember if it's 6.7 as well. But the 645, it's great. You get the 15 exposures on 120, and then on 220 you get 30. The only cons that I see to this camera for people is going to be the bellow and this fixed lens. Now, what does that mean? Bellows, over time, they're going to wear and tear, and you might get a light leak on your photos one day and not even realize it, which is going to be really unfortunate if it happens to me. The lens, you can never switch it out. You're going to have to work with what this camera is capable of, but I feel like that's where it gives you time to really learn and master the camera, because you don't have to worry about, oh, well, I don't like this lens, so I'm going to switch to a lens that I know I like and that I know I'm used to shooting. You can't do that here. You got to really learn how this camera works. You got to refine your skill with this camera and this body. And I really like that. It was a good challenge for me at the time. It was eye-opening, and honestly, it was great just to have a camera that I could easily compact down into a really, not the thinnest, but a pretty thin, flat body that can easily slide in and out of a bag or a camera case just by making a little slit or a little spot to slide it into. This thing at the top does not come with the camera. You guys will know that, but for those that don't know, this is a Kex light meter. It's a great little light meter. It's been out for a while. Kex made a really nice little thing for someone who doesn't have the money for like the $200+ ones. Although now I'm going to save up for one of those and have this and one of those, because this is great in certain situations, whereas the other ones are great in other situations. It's all about what you need it for, and this is great for a camera like this. You just put it on the top of the horseshoe mount right here, and from there you have a little light meter. You just do your exposure, dial it in on your camera, and you're set, and you're able to go shoot. The only other con I see people having with this camera, and I'll show that in the next clip, is that it only goes up to 1/500th of a second. And you know, that's not the worst thing, but for some people it's gonna suck. I know it sucked for me because I was used to having 1/1000th of a second shutter speeds on my 645 Mamiya, and going from that to this was a struggle, but it just made me very intentional with what time of day and what I was shooting and how I shot it, you know? But honestly, I would really highly recommend this camera to anybody who just wants a nice world into rangefinders on medium format and they don't want to drop the thousands of dollars. Now, you can very much easily spend thousands of dollars on one of these. You can spend thousands of dollars on any one of these film cameras because reality is prices are going up and that's just how things get. But you can very much, as long as you make sure that the bellows and the lens are in pristine condition, all the other functions don't matter. There's like a meter in the prism, don't need it. I'd recommend you use your phone light meter, a light meter app on your phone versus this one, just because you never know how accurate it is. It could be thrown off from the years of not being used or from the years of use. It could be getting thrown off little by little. There's a self timer on the lens, which is really nice because it lets you use like long exposures without a shutter cable release if you don't have one. I have a shutter cable release, but I like to use that more. I feel like it's a lot more convenient, and just knowing the fact that I have a little timer and I can just set it, dial it in, press down on the shutter speed, back up, let it stop vibrating, and then my exposure is good, you know? But you know, I would highly recommend this camera. Highly recommend it. It's been a great little camera and I can see myself getting more use out of it. A lot more use out of it, to the point where I could even see myself fixing the bellows if the bellows broke, or sending it to someone to fix them. Depends if I can find someone to even touch this thing. But that's about it for what I have to say about it. If I think of anything else, I'll make sure in another video of when I use this camera for photos, once I get my photo situation fixed up. There's gonna be more to say about this camera the more I go along. That's my point with this little thing I just went off on, this little tangent. But no, so you're gonna see the clips of all the functions in detail, and I'm gonna give you guys a little look into the viewfinder because the viewfinder is very interesting. And from there, I'll see you guys in the monthly recap. Laters.